You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the...
Is this real life? I feel crazy. The world is spinning around me. What's happening? You have 4 eyes. I have 2 fingers.
For years, the industry brushed it off as nothing more than background chatter. Snippets were laughed at, incidents overlooked, and questions never pursued. Now, with 50 Cent's new documentary, the story is being revisited, and whispers that once seemed like rumors are being dragged into the open. At the heart of it all stands Diddy, a figure whose influence has shaped countless careers, and Justin Bieber, a young star thrust into that world far too early. This isn't about viral clips or online gossip. It's about power, complicity, and how long the truth can remain buried when too many have a stake in looking the other.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this will be yours. So, every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, come get the front shot in.
Man.
That out. Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come out, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Slow down. Let's slow down, Josh.
Okay.
Let's slow down. Okay.
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion?
Yeah.
All right. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out with some girls.
Justin Bieber's journey was often portrayed as a modern-day fairy tale, but beneath the glitz and acclaim lay a troubling reality. A child navigating adult power structures with little visible protection. Archival footage and interviews reveal Bieber placed in situations where influence, access, and fame overshadowed what was age-appropriate. For years, these incidents circulated quietly, shrugged off as quirky celebrity behavior rather than examined as systemic risk. The concern isn't about one isolated moment. It's about a culture that normalized turning a blind eye. When childhood is exchanged for opportunity, who bears the weight of the consequences?
That's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody going to come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart, mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for him in their life. Kim Porter, dead. Somebody car, this guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, then have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos.
For years, 50 Cent positioned himself on the outside of Sean Diddy Combs' inner circle, claiming he saw the workings of that world without being part of it. His remarks were often dismissed as the noise of rivalry. But now, under legal scrutiny and cultural re-examination, they take on a different weight. This doesn't mean every accusation is true, but it shifts the perspective on intent. Warnings can exist long before evidence reaches the public. The uncomfortable question remains: when critique comes from opponents, how often is it ignored? How many early alerts are lost simply because the messenger held the keys to rooms where careers could either skyrocket or stall? Justin Bieber's closeness to that world highlighted an industry reality. Opportunities often move through gatekeepers of power rather than through clear or fair systems.
A Lamborghini.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house. And he knows better than be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Well, apparently not.
Something.
If he's bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too. Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber, allegedly. I don't know, bro.
Right. But when you heard the news that Diddy, he had a tape with another man, did that catch you by surprise or no?
Well, all this shit is by surprise to me. A lot of this shit is by surprise to me, to be totally honest, man. Because I knew.
The real concern isn't just what happened behind closed doors, but why public oversight was absent in a system where career growth depends on access to power. Boundaries become flexible, and the question arises: who has the authority to say no, and who bears the cost for doing so? Long before Justin Bieber's rise, Usher spoke openly about being introduced to Diddy's world as a teenager, a world that thrust him into adult realities far too soon. That history is significant because it sets precedent, not because it's gossip. When the same patterns appear across generations, it's harder to chalk them up to coincidence. The message points to systemic continuity, trust handed down without accountability. If discomfort was recognized once, why was the system allowed to remain unchanged for the next child?
Love and brother love and back to Diddy. So, no, but the diddler, he's the diddler now. A lot of it's surprising. but it's not unheard of. Because you hear of all kinds of and whether it registered with you or you internalize it or something like that, that's a whole nother story. But a lot of this stuff, but this is the world that we live in now, man. That these individuals thinks is all right. Bruh, when does it comes all right to be sitting there eating food off a naked woman? When did we start doing what they do? Let's keep it a buck. When did we start doing what they do? These guys is popping pills. These got Jay-Z dancing with a chick that's...
As scrutiny around Diddy grew, countless celebrities who had been close to him opted for silence, while 50 Cent made his observations impossible to ignore. The contrast reveals a hidden industry dynamic. Speaking out can jeopardize relationships, while staying quiet shields them. Loyalty blurs with self-preservation. The point isn't cowardice, it's calculation. In an ecosystem where truth clashes with survival, when silence is the safest route, can accountability still exist?
Might make you change your mind. Look at Little Nas X. He fizzled out fast, too.
So would you say someone like Justin Bieber is a victim? I just seen he is reportedly selling his whole catalog because he's broke.
Yeah. Yeah. And once he finishes getting that money, I don't understand why he's broke. He didn't have to be broke. Usher just wouldn't stop robbing him.
Damn.
I mean, Usher couldn't keep his hands out of his pocket. It's funny. He got him signed and turned over custody to Diddy. And boy was never the same, and neither was Usher's pockets, because Usher's been living off of Justin Bieber's money. He ain't been living off of his own. Because the truth is, Usher don't really make that kind of money. And I'm really just kind of sick and tired of Usher reigning.
Yeah,
I'm really kind of disgusted with Usher reigning, who does Greek wrestling nude with men over Frosted Flakes, allegedly. Like, I'm sick and tired of this guy who everyone knows got the Diddy bumps, who's been sued for passing them on and lost, is still sitting there disgracing women in front of their men who bought the tickets to like that whole scheme.
He's causing a lot of divorce courts.
But why? He's literally doing it just to destroy relationships.
Justin Bieber has never made public allegations of criminal behavior against Diddy. Yet his later reflections on anxiety, loss of control, and emotional struggles paint a more complicated picture. He describes being thrust into overwhelming situations at a young age, surrounded by adults with conflicting agendas, without the guidance or tools to safeguard himself.
Of an interview of Justin Bieber, and he was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was like, he was broke, almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billie. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown girl with Drake. These people are monsters.
Jermaine Dupri said something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He said the reason that R&B isn't as powerful as it is anymore is because children are going to church.
Yeah.
What is it about the transfer from the spiritual to the secular do you believe that's what made R&B so powerful?
Understand this. Rhythm and blues was a combination of gospel and soul music. Because soul music has always been around in one form or another. It's just evolved throughout the years. And you got gospel, rhythm and blues. That's what put that together. That's why they made such a big stink about the Ray Charles incorporating gospel sounds into secular music. Because they wanted people to separate the two. This is demon, this is good. The truth is none of that's real. There is no bad, there is no good. There is what is, and there is what is not.
The point isn't legal, it's human. Trauma doesn't always come with a formal accusation. Often, it emerges years later, unnamed and unclaimed. If the harm is woven into a system, why do we insist on one definitive accusation before recognizing it?
Just testified against Diddy to the grand jury and had to give up 8 videotapes to the feds that contained celebrities in these freak-offs with Diddy, is now listing some of the names that he saw on these tapes. And this man said that he got these tapes from a very close friend of Kim Porter's, and these were Kim Porter's tapes that she was going to use against Diddy. And some of the names that he says are some that we have heard rumored over the years. He said he saw Justin Bieber on this tape and he appeared to be underage during this time. He also saw Usher on these tapes and Usher definitely appeared to be underage. And this one gave me the chills because we've heard that Usher is the one that sent Justin Bieber to Diddy. Courtney Burgess sat down with the Too Strong channel here on YouTube and started naming some of the celebrities that he saw on these tapes.
Were kids involved in these parties that you can verify from looking at the tapes? If Justin Bieber was older than he's supposed to have been, yes. If Usher was older, well, Usher was definitely young. Okay. You understand? His shoulder part was, the blood was all in his bed. You understand? It looked like they came home from a event, a party or something.
Went on to explain how Danny Boy was also in one of these videos with Mary J. Blige and Diddy together. And Danny Boy admitted when he was 15.
Once Diddy's story reached federal court, the dialogue moved from rumor to documented proceedings. Indictments, verdicts, and appeals limited what could be formally asserted, yet widened what could be analyzed from an institutional perspective. Courts judge actions, not culture, leaving deeper questions unresolved. The takeaway is clear. Legality isn't the same as morality, and an acquittal doesn't erase systemic damage. When the courtroom concludes a case, does that mean the conversation should end too?
Danny Boy, okay. You know what Danny Boy is? I heard that before. I don't, I've been so far away from hip hop, I forgot, but I have heard that name, Danny Boy. Danny Boy, back then, he looked like he was about 16. They both was about.
He also claimed that Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, were in these videos, and he also said that there was photographs and videos of Diddy eating off of young girls.
Pictures or images of any of this stuff? Yeah, I got Justin Bieber, Will Smith's son, just whatever his name is. Other females on the table, they was young. He was eating off them. A lot of entertainments in there. I got calls from certain of them wanting to get the tape out of my hand. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
And I have said that if this man testified to the grand jury, the feds had to have some reason to bring him in to actually testify against Diddy. But y'all let me know what you guys think about this man naming all of the people on.
Think he has a mole or an informant in his camp that's cooperating?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Listen, bro. Just doing law enforcement myself, just take for instance, the individual was a Syracuse former basketball player named Jason Barnes or Beard or something like that. He already had drug charges against him. The day Diddy house get raided, they catch him getting on a plane and they put him into custody. Didn't that sound a little weird? People didn't catch that. They either put him in custody for a couple of reasons. You understand? One, to make a witness out of him, or to safeguard him and protect him for anything that could happen to him, because they had already stated, allegedly, that he was some kind of mule for the people over there at Diddy's house. So now, with that information, that he was already known by the government, wouldn't that be an individual that you use? I'm going to give you something different. And I'm going to give you something else that people don't even think. On the other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up. And he started tapping him as if he was searching him and see if he had some kind of device on. Did you see that?
Yep.
Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber